One day, you're walking down an unfamiliar street, and then, out of nowhere, a smell drifts by. In that instant, you're no longer here. Not really. 12 years old, a summer afternoon, a face you thought was gone, a voice you thought you'd forgotten. All of it, brought back by a single smell. Strange, isn't it? A photo doesn't do this. A song doesn't do this. Not like this. But smell is different. Smell doesn't just remind you. Smell drags you back. And this is not an accident. In 1917, a writer named Marcel Proust described this phenomenon with uncanny precision. He dipped a small cake called a madeleine into his tea, took one bite, and his entire childhood unfolded in front of him. Today, we call this the Proust Phenomenon. But here's the strange question underneath it. Why smell of all things? Not sight, not sound. Why does information entering through your nose have this almost violent power to summon the past? To find the answer, we have to go inside the brain, deep inside. Somewhere in there is a structure that processes smell. It's called the olfactory bulb. If the story stopped here, it would just be ordinary biology. But something strange happens. Every other sense, sight, sound, touch, passes through a structure called the thalamus before reaching the brain. Think of it as a checkpoint. It sorts information, filters it, decides what matters, and in what order. Smell skips that checkpoint entirely. It goes straight to the amygdala and the hippocampus. The amygdala, where emotion is made. The hippocampus, where memory is stored. In other words, a smell is already touching your emotions and your memories before your rational mind even has a chance to catch up, before you're even aware it's happening. And here, everything changes. This isn't just some biological shortcut. This is the brain's design itself. Think about it. For early humans, smell was a matter of survival. The smell of rotting meat, the smell of a predator, the smell of a poisonous plant. There was no time to think, no time to deliberate. You had to feel it and react immediately. So the brain wired smell directly into emotion, ahead of reason. And that circuit, tens of thousands of years later, is still sitting there, fully intact. The reason a stranger's perfume on the subway can suddenly make your chest ache for no reason. That's not you being overly sensitive. That's your brain, still running on a survival circuit, built for a world that no longer exists. But here's something even stranger. Something almost nobody talks about. Memories triggered by smell feel far more emotionally vivid than memories triggered any other way. Researchers ran an experiment. One group was asked to recall a memory using a photograph. Another group was asked to recall the same kind of memory using a scent from that time. The results were unmistakable. The scent-triggered memories produced a far stronger emotional response. Heart rates shifted. The brain's emotional centers lit up harder. In other words, smell doesn't just retrieve a memory. Smell makes you relive it in the exact emotional state you were in the first time. You're not remembering that moment. You're being pulled back inside it. But this was never really a story about smell. This is a story about how fragile the structure you call yourself actually is. You believe you're a rational being, moving through your life with intention. That today's decisions, today's feelings, today's version of you is the one in control. But a single smell can dismantle all of that. That person you thought you'd let go of 10 years ago. Catch the scent of the room you used to sit in together, and you're pulled straight back into that moment. No time to prepare. No time to brace yourself. This isn't nostalgia. This is a loss of control. Your brain has the authority to drag you into the past before you've given it permission. And maybe this is the truly unsettling part. What we call ourselves may just be something quietly steered, moment to moment, by countless past smells, sounds, and sensations we're never even aware of. Do you really believe the decision you made today was entirely new? Or did some smell somewhere already make that decision for you long before you noticed? We like to think of memory as neatly filed photographs in a drawer, pulled out when needed, put away when we're done. But real memory doesn't work that way. Real memory floats in the air, waiting for the smallest signal to ambush you whenever it wants. So the next time an unexpected smell on some unfamiliar street makes your chest tighten without warning, remember this: it's not a coincidence. It means another version of you, somewhere inside, has been quietly waiting for that exact moment for a very long time.